Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, there we go. Okay, right. Can you guys even see me properly? Hold on. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. So today my laptop isn't working, so it's gonna have to be done through my phone. Even be charging my phone. So we're gonna go through some of these charts and then see what we got. So I started off with GJ. It's currently 9:30, so this is currently the kind of the time we want to be entering for London session. And I'm gonna start with the weekly time frame. I'm gonna put up my stream on my Nova phone so I can see myself. Make sure we're good. So I do want to put on this fan, it's hot, but I don't know if it's gonna mess up the audio. Okay, in the meantime. Hold up. Right, check 1 2. 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 What is that? Sorry for the background noise. Hold on, I think I can sort it out. Okay, looks like they're fine. Alright, perfect. So on the weekly time frame, we have GJ, and you can see here that we're quite bullish, right? We're creating these higher highs, higher lows. We just look like we are bullish. So we take that to the daily time frame, and what's interesting is that even still, we took out this. Hold on, I need to get an arrow so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me use this. Okay. So this swing term low has been taken out because price displaced over here. There's a strong move downwards to take out that lower term or short term low. But price did not take out the swing term low, which is down here. You can see this is the extreme of price. So this low right here didn't get taken out. So when price was moving up, like so, it didn't take it out here. So we remain in that bullish posture because of the market structure, right? So we are bullish on this pair. The daily and the weekly are agreeing. With our trading strategy, we try our best to get multiple time frames in alignment because that gives us extra confluence, it gives us extra bias, and of course, extra consistency. So we then go down to the 4-hourly time frame. Let's just skip to the 1 hour. Actually, let me go back to the daily, show you what I mean. So you can see here when I was talking to me with the arrow gone. Okay, let's take this one. The move I was talking about, we took out the, let's get a new arrow, this one is broken. So this move here, okay, that big back candle towards the downside, that took out this short-term low here. This displacement, we would have been bearish if we took, is this so taking on the phone? If we took this low out here, with this move downwards, I would have been bearish. But in that move, right, we've analyzed a displacement. So that gap there is going to be highlighted. So that red, kind of maroon looking horizontal line there and there is just marking out the fair value gap that we caused on the daily time frame from that move. Okay, so that's going to be important for when we zoom into the market. So we go down to the hourly time frame. You can see here with this line up here, it's actually meant to be green. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a dark, deep green. That line at the top is marking out equal highs, which is where liquidity is going to be resting above. That's buy-side liquidity. Retail traders are going to see that and see that as support or resistance rather, and they're going to utilize or rather look at that and be spotting and looking at, okay, this is going to be an area where I expect price to go down from. So what's the institutions going to do? They're going to use and target that, those equal highs to take it out and of course try and take their orders. So with that being said, that's our target established. But when we zoom in, you can see those maroon lines we were mentioning earlier, up here and down here. That's the daily fair value gap, the bearish fair value gap we noticed. So since that's the bearish fair value gap and we're in the bearish fair value gap, there's two things that can happen. We can either go up, fill up as much as possible, which is the top, which is the upper bound, or we could have a reaction and then price reverses. Now, in the instance of what we're looking at now, with the context of the weekly and the daily time frame, we are more inclined to believe price is going to go up than it is to react and go down. Why? Because the weekly and daily time frame market structure is still intact for the bullish idea. Remember earlier I was saying how if it took out one of the swing turn lows, we would have been bearish, but it didn't take it out. Therefore, we are, of course, now bullish. Right, so we are bullish, and like I said, our target is that 215,478 level, which is the upper bound of the daily fair value gap. That is our long-term target, but of course, in the short term, we are targeting these equal highs marked by the 214678 level. Okay, so that's our target. That's what we're looking for. Now it's about converting this idea into entering the markets. How do we now take all of what we've learned and our predictions, our bias, how do we now activate that and actually enter the markets to potentially make income? So with an hourly time frame, we mark out liquidity for both bullish and bearish ideas because they are both intertwined. We've marked out the upper highs, equal highs over here. We then marked out the lower lows or equal lows over here at this 214077 level. We have these three touches there, and it goes back to that one candlestick at on the left-hand side, marked out by that blue white circle with the blue outline. Okay, so that's equal lows, equal highs. We see liquidity as fuel. Fuel is just energy for the market to move. So when price takes liquidity, we expect a movement, generally speaking, in the opposite direction. So if we're targeting the upper bound of the fair value gap and we're targeting those equal highs, we want to see sell side liquidity being taken, which is equal lows. Okay. So that's our target. So what do we notice? We noticed, and we've drawn out the 214077 level. Okay. And we've marked out midnight session. So we're going to go down in time frame again. So that blue vertical line is just marking out the midnight open, which is based on the exchange time frame, which is the New York time zone. So that is the time we use because that's where majority of institutions use to enter trades. So we marked it out with the blue vertical line, but now that you've seen it, we marked out the exact open with that orange line there. So you can see from midnight open rather, price has rallied up into this smaller time frame fair value gap, which is marked up by the 2 hour time frame, I believe. Yeah, that 2 hour, is that 2 hour? I mean, the 2 hour is actually shown as here. So that's a 2 hour fair value gap. Okay. And on the 15 minutes, it looks like that we've filled it completely. And don't forget, we are bullish. So unfortunately, price hasn't really taken out liquidity. We wanted to come back down to this 214.77 level. So I would have liked for price to use that bearish value gap to come back down to create the liquidity sweep. Now, the two most important things in any trading market is the axis you use. You have an x-axis and you have a y-axis. Y-axis in this case is price. The x-axis in this case is time. So price and time are important. Now, why are they important? That's a whole separate conversation, but we essentially are looking for volume, right? And volume is what allows for manipulation to occur. You can't manipulate the markets if there's no one in there to be manipulated. So we are looking for manipulation to happen, and it's currently at 9:48 New York, London session. So this is the kill zone time frame or time zone where we expect some movements to happen. The only thing we're kind of looking for is that 1 hour 214.77 level to happen. So literally, as expected, I'm going to show you one last idea that kind of backs this up. So let me zoom out a little bit. So this is a box we've drawn for this bearish fair value gap, or bullish order block rather, which is these bearish candlesticks just before the displacement to the outside. It depends what time frame you're looking at, but rather than find the perfect time frame, I'm just going to show you the idea first. We can move on to another instrument. Okay, so this bullish order block is at the bottom of the fair value gap range, so the lower bound. And you'd also notice that it's right next to this equal lows right here. So if price was to come down to these equal lows and tag into this order block, then we'll get institutional order flow to help push price to the upside. So that's why it's very important we wait for price to get to 214.077 level. And we should expect for price to even potentially pull back into that order block a little bit. And at that point was where we'll be looking for opportunities to buy as long as time is our friend, which would be, if it's not now, the New York Open, which is going to be at 8:30 New York time. And then, of course, that would translate to about 1:30 in GMT. So I'm going to add a vertical line, hopefully, if I can. Okay, perfect. My time, my x-axis is in sync. So I'm going to mark it around 9. There's the 2 hour, then we can drag that to 8:30. That's where we would expect for price to finish his manipulation. So I'll ask GJ. Let's move on to GBP and ZD. Starting off with the weekly time frame. What do we have? Well, here on the weekly time frame, we are bullish. We did take out some short-term lows, but we didn't take out swing terms. It's a bit of a weird one because I would actually say we're bullish, or bearish rather. We filled this fair value gap here. I'm assuming it's a fair value gap. I'm not actually sure where it's from. What time frame could that even be from? Or maybe I'm saying it's an order block. I don't even know. I actually don't even know what this is from, so I'm going to delete this. Okay. Okay. Back up to the daily time frame. So in the daily time frame, we have been bearish in terms of a very short time, like since April. We create these low lows or highs. In the grand scheme of things, we did take out a lot of sell-side liquidity. You can see here we had these 3 low highs, and then we took out these swing term lows here, and we pulled back into a deep fair value gap and imbalance, and then we started to move down. So I'll actually be bearish here, just from tape reading. And then to convert that again, let's go that to the 1 hour. Kind of already made a big move. I think what I would probably wait for is for price to break this swing term low right here. Once price breaks this, I would potentially be looking for some potential entries. Let me make this green. Okay, so let's wait for price to break that. I'm just going to leave that there because there's a lot of pairs to analyze. Let's look at GBP AUD. Starting with the daily and weekly. So I'm bearish just instantly, just off of looking at this. Daily time frame, I'm also bearish. What's that red line from? I think it might be an hourly fair value. Let me double check. Don't remember analyzing this. Okay, yes, it is a 1 hour fair value gap, which we filled once. We've come up to again the second time. I don't know if price will utilize that as a reversal point. I'm not sure. Can we go back to the daily time frame? It's been kind of in this range. Go back to the hourly. Okay, this is cool, but we've missed it. So we had these equal lows right here on the hourly time frame. We swept the lows of them, and then we displaced back up to the lower bound in this fair value gap. We are bearish though, so I'll be looking. We need some buy side liquidity to get taken, and I'm not really seeing any clear equal lows. Zoom out a little bit. I'm not really seeing much. Like, you could potentially, let me see if you can argue this. I guess you could say this is equal lows right here, equal highs, sorry, which would facilitate the idea of it being a sell from now. But do we have the entry model being triggered? So let's just assume we've swept the equal highs. Let me double check how this looks. Yeah, that's valid to me. So there's equal highs over here. Price has swept that. We now need a market structure shift on a smaller time frame. So let's go down a little bit. So what do I notice? So this is a short-term low right here. Let me get an arrow so you know what I'm talking about. Right here. That there is a swing term low which we have traded below. But did we displace in taking this out? No displacement here. There's maybe a little displacement here. Okay, let me have a look at a smaller time frame. So the only displacement I notice is right here. Change this to kind of maroon. Clone that. Okay, so this is the bearish fair value gap that took out that short-term that I referenced earlier. And when that happens, you can kind of confirm that's a market shift. Take out this low with a displacement. And now we have that displacement range. So we are expecting to find from this low or that high to this extreme a fair value gap within that, which we've marked out with this maroon line. We can indeed enter a sell if price was to come back up to this equilibrium. We then set our stop loss. Maybe around here. So this is the idea we have with GBP AUD, I believe this is. And then we can sell towards sell side liquidity. So I'm going to set an alert because I am going to be busy after the stream and I will not be able to be watching the markets continuously. So I'm going to add an alert on this horizontal ray. Did that not go through? I don't think that worked. Or you have to be premium to set an alert on a horizontal ray. I've reached limits. What do you mean? I haven't even set any alerts. I'm gonna sort this out. Okay, now what's the level 1? 88308. Okay, it's an alert. This is what we're looking for. Obviously, price could easily go down more, but we are expecting for price to come back up. And yeah, that's the first kind of valid trade idea we have. Which is very close to entry. I'm going to flag this. Okay. There's many pairs here. I'm going to have to try steamroll through them. How long have we been here? No longer, right? I have to travel quite far, so I might. Okay. 74%, right. EuroCAD, let's have a look. On the weekly, I don't like that. Let me have a look at the daily and then we'll tell. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Too many gaps. What's this? Euro Swiss franc. Let's have a look. We were bearish this whole time. It has been going down since. What's interesting, I actually would have been bearish on this if I was watching this because there is this fair value gap here on the daily time frame. But it's completely filled it and we're in a premium as well. That's why I'm more inclined to a sell idea here. But now that price is closed above it, that idea may be invalidated. So it could be going for liquidity. To be fair, is that equal highs? Let's have a look on the hourly time frame. So that's the bearish fair value gap. There is some more bearish fair value gap up here. Those equal highs are not the most equal, but I think it'll be valid enough. It might be going for that liquidity first at 91698 before it wants to go back down again. It's completely filled this fair value gap here. Just gonna leave that analysis as that, since I'm kind of happy with this analysis on GBP AUD. Today's Wednesday, right? So there should be news. Well, it actually came close to entry. Just simply be targeting. I believe this is. What level is this? And I'll be targeting this fair value gap. Okay, the only issue is it looks like it's going down already. And we didn't get in. Okay, now it's jammed. No good. Let's open up again. Oh no. Great. Is my internet even working? No. There we go. Okay. 5 minutes, please. There we go. Oh, of course, man. When it lets me in is after the fact. It's hit my entry and... Ugh. Okay. Okay, just scenery. What does this mean? Whoa. I just want to... Oh, there we go. Okay, I need to enter the trade, so let me even double check it's working. Okay. Okay, now we can enter that. Okay, 188,368. Okay, I'm not showing you this. It's gonna be on my demo account. I'm showing you. to load. My internet is having the time of its life, huh? Anyway, just in the meantime while that loads, this is the idea right here. I'm doing this arrow now. It's a bit unclear a little bit, but from that high to this low, we have at the 6-2 level, this fair value gap by those marine lines, and it's on the, what time frame was that? I think it was 1 minute. We had that fair value gap right there, taking out these lows. And then, yeah, it's funding the idea of a sell. What's the values? 88368. 7 pips. 70. There is 2K. 10, 20, 1.4, 30. Contracts. Cool. Next. Don't like that. So that's the weekly. Let me have a look at the daily. I think that might be enough to classify as a sweep. Price is already moving upwards. Okay. This looks clean. We have news today, don't we? Okay, 27th of May. Actually, don't really have any news. All of it is just yellow. OTLK. Thank you very much. What do you mean, my guy? Okay, 27th of May, there's no news. Hold on. I'm pretty sure there was, though. That's what's getting me confused. And it's so difficult, my phone. I don't even know how to use this on the phone. Maybe that was the news I saw. Okay, we'll just take the word for it. So USD CAD looks clean. It's moving upwards quite consistently on the weekly time frame. It has reason to be bullish. We've filled this fair value gap over here. I'm just going to use a box this time to showcase what I mean. Okay, it's kind of light. Let me show you the orange box. The area there is a fair value gap I was looking at, and the daily time frame has filled it completely. So because it's filled it, bearishness is kind of over, and we will technically be bullish, but up until what point is the question. We filled that fair value gap as well. That is over here. This one's been filled since, though. So this is also no longer a target. And since we filled that, the next area would be all the way over here, these equal highs. So for that meaning, we are bullish. For that reason, we are bullish. Look like we're going up here. Let's go to the hour time frame. And is there any liquidity we can target? The equal highs, which we've just taken. And then there's some equal lows, but it's not the cleanest. Maybe we will be bearish to then take this liquidity to then push higher. That will probably be my idea. So I'm going to tag that. Let's use the CAD, right? Flag it. Also drag it up. We'll do a couple more. I do need to be going. To leave in 20 minutes. Okay, we're going to call it here for the sake of time. And I'll probably be live later. And we'll see. I need to go home and then go out again. So it's going to be a little bit hectic for me, but we'll move. We move. And yeah, sorry I was on the phone today. I just didn't have the ability to. My laptop just shuts down after 2 seconds. So until I get upgraded, that's what we're going to have to be dealing with for now. So yeah, did analysis of some pairs, even though it was on the phone, which I don't like at all, but we'll be back tomorrow. And we're here every day. I'm going to keep growing, keep increasing in ability, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for joining. It's been your boy CJ IC, and I'll see you guys later.